this is going to be a really kind of brief overview of several mascaras that I really like and really hate. I'm going to show you the brushes, talk a little bit about their formulas, and then also like what I think the best things about them are. I filmed this once before, but my opinion about one of the mascaras changed, and then I wanted to throw a new one in that was kind of on the less expensive side for anyone who really didn't want to spend like $6 or $7 on mascara. So, to get this over with, because the last one ended up being like 16 minutes, it was way too long. So I'm going to start with one that I absolutely hate. And the only reason I still have it is because I wanted to do a review on it. So I didn't want to throw it out, but I really don't like it. And it's also pretty old, but they still sell it. So the one I really don't like is the Falsies. Oh, oops, that's loud. The one I don't like is this one. It's just the Falsies Volume Express. It was the first one that they came out with. I originally really liked it because this is the waterproof version, so that kind of really plays a role in it. I originally loved it because it really, obviously, like it says, it makes you look like you have false eyelashes, and it's the best thing. And then also because it was waterproof, I wouldn't have to like put more on every day, which is kind of gross, but like if I ever fall asleep with makeup on, I pretty much wouldn't have to put mascara on the next day and it would look fine. The problem arose because when I actually wanted to take it off, I couldn't. I tried different makeup removers, makeup pads, face washes, a lot of things. I didn't try baby oil or anything like that, but the mascara would never ever come off. And then at the same time, because I was trying so hard to get it off, I started like losing eyelashes. So I had like a bald spot like right here on this side, which is really uncomfortable and really awkward because I feel like it's one of those things people can't really pinpoint that there's something that looks wrong, but they know something's wrong. So that's why I stopped using that one. I guess if you really need the waterproof formula, it's fine to use every once in a while because it really does give you amazing looking eyelashes. Again, the only thing is it took way too much effort to take off, and it made me go bald on my eyeball, so that was really uncomfortable. So what I did was I switched to this one, the Falsies Flared, and it's not waterproof, which I feel like makes a huge difference. One of the things that I liked about the original Falsies, and this is the brush for the original Falsies, is it kind of looks like a centipede. It's a really wide brush, and it's a little angled, so it really does fully coat each and every single one of your eyelashes, which is why your eyelashes look so good, and it does a good job of fading them out and separating them. The Falsies Flared one has a really similar kind of brush, but if you notice, and it's really tiny difference, it's wide where the other one was thin, so the other one was much narrower this way and much wider this way, so the brush is kind of reversed, and then there's much more of flare, and it's a lot more voluminous around, so it's plumper, so it really does an even better job at like catching every eyelash and like coating them in the mascara and really just like fanning them out and making you look like you have fake eyelashes on. So that's like one of my favorite ones right now. I usually use this one and combine it with the brush on a different mascara, which I'll show you in a second, because it really does separate each eyelash. Then I want to talk about the NYX, or the NYX Doll Eye Mascara. This is one of my favorite ones, and the brush is really unique. It kind of starts out really thick, gets narrow and thicker again. I'm not exactly sure how, like, what it does that makes your eyelashes look good, but I've tried to think about it, like what it does, like how it like moves them, but I can't. Like I feel like I'm just gonna be repeating a lot of the same words, like thickens, lengthens, and like separates your eyelashes, because a lot of them do this, but some of them do it better than others. The Doll Eye Mascara is really good. The formula is okay. It's not the best, but it's really the brush that kind of like, it takes the like insides and outsides of your eyelashes and really kind of like fans them out, which is great. Then the other one that I really like, and this is probably my favorite one, like if I had to pick one, it would definitely be this one. It's Maybelline's One by One, and you'll notice it looks a lot like the Falsies. They're both by Maybelline, and a lot of their mascaras kind of have this like thick top, like thinner band, thick bottom. The One by One is by far my favorite. So this brush is kind of clean and kind of dirty. Originally it starts as that like pinky red color, and obviously when you put it in the mascara it gets dark. But the reason this is so special, it's these other mascaras that I've shown you are like the traditional kind of wiry, almost pipe cleaner texture for the brushes. This one is more silicone. So I don't know if you can see like the tiny little teeth that it has. It pokes out from like there are like a dozen rows around it this way, and then however many teeth on each row. So it really does the whole one by one thing. And the best part is, if it doesn't do it on the first swipe, you can really just kind of like get in there and like wiggle it out. So like it really does separate your eyelashes. And the formula lasts all day. It doesn't get flaky, doesn't get ugly or anything like that. So this is my favorite one. I typically go in with the Falsies Flared first to kind of get the shape that I like, and then I do this to kind of like wiggle it and like separate the eyelashes. So it's kind of, I don't know. Okay, the last three that I have, two are similar, and the one is what I kind of changed my opinion on. So I probably don't even have to show you the label, and you'll know that this is Great Lash, right? Because it's kind of one of the most iconic mascaras. It sells like the most, I think, in the United States. Like they have like the biggest numbers constantly because the formula is so good. The brush, however, is not the best. It's like really just the most basic, I think probably one of the first mascara brushes that doesn't really do a good job of separating your eyelashes. So you end up with kind of thick, spidery, clumped eyelashes, but the formula on this is really good. So I would recommend taking the formula from this, so like coating your eyelashes with this and then immediately using a nicer brush to kind of separate them out, or even that like one of these that has the sort of comb on the end. Mine is really dirty, but you know what I'm talking about. So it fixes it and kind of removes like excess formula that just really like clumps and like thickens and grosses out your eyelashes. So this one is fabulous. As you can tell, I've had it for a while, and it is one of the staples of like most people's sort of makeup kits. The label is peeling away. It used to be this color, like these two colors, and look at how much it's like dulled down because I've had it for so freaking long. What I loved for about a week before I had to use it a lot, and I was really frustrated because I loved it, because the brush on this, and it's the Great Lash Lots of Lashes one, it's like the brand new one that just came out. I thought the brush was kind of cool looking. It's like weird, like a teardrop shape like that, and it's very similar to the One by One brush in that it's made out of a much stiffer kind of bristle that's almost silicone like, and it really gets in there, and it's like wider at the bottom, and then the bristles get shorter at the top, so you can really kind of get in your eyelashes without sort of making a mess of it. What I thought was that it'd be a lot easier because the brush is so small to get into the little spaces. It turns out it's so much more frustrating to just put on mascara, because you need to, what would normally take like 1-2 sort of swipes with any other wand, this you need to go through like 4 or 5 times. So you need to start on the outside or start on the inside, whichever you're more comfortable with, and then go, move on to the next part, move on to the next part, move on to the next part. It's not like with the longer brushes where you can kind of just like access it all by like wiggling it and like pulling it out. This you have to do each section individually, and it's so frustrating, mostly because that end right there, there's like a little flat piece, so like the top section, like from here up on the brush, you can't even use because there are no bristles on it. So like I thought that would be perfect for getting on the inner corners of my eyes, especially on my opposite side, which is my right side, and I always have trouble getting the lashes by the tear duct. I thought it'd be perfect for that, and I think that's what I said in my first video, but it's not. The brush is too small. It's really good for the outer corner of your eye because you can fan out your eyelashes a lot better, but again, I really like the One by One for that, so you don't need both. I really don't like this. The formula is great because, again, I think it's pretty much the same as the original Great Lash formula, but the brush drives me insane, and I thought I would love it, and I really don't. Like, every time I get a new product, I love it immediately, and I was still kind of in that, like, haze where I was like, this is great, it's so new, it's so cute, the thing is so, like, hot pink, it's adorable, and then I started using it, and I was like, alright, this is not as fun as I thought it would be. It's so much more frustrating, it's not helpful. So I like the formula, not the brush. the last one I'm going to do is the e.l.f. mascara, which isn't the best in the world, but for the price that you get it, which is $1, it's pretty good. So most mascaras run from like anywhere. The Great Lash one is like $6 something, and then the newer ones like the One by One and the Falsies Flared are like, I want to say like high $7s, mid $8 kind of, and then there's ones by Rimmel which are around $9, $10. So like it really varies. But I feel like mascara, if you don't wear makeup, foundation and mascara are the two things you should invest in. They're simple, they take 2 seconds, and first of all, foundation will even out your skin tone, make you look beautiful, and mascara really just makes your eyes pop. You don't even have to be good at it, because it's hard to mess up mascara. It's not like eyeliner where it might not be even, or you might mess it up, you might smudge it, whatever, it might tug at your eyes, whatever the case may be. Mascara doesn't do that. All you have to do is, you don't even have to curl it, because curling might be tricky for some people. If you know how to curl it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Mascara is so easy, and there's really no excuse to not wear it, and it makes you look so good, and you'll feel so much better about yourself. So the two products I would say you should invest in if you don't really wear makeup are mascara and foundation. That being said, if you don't really invest in makeup, you probably don't want to spend much money on it either. So if that's the case with you, use this. It's not the best mascara in the world, but if you're not really used to using it, it's fine. If you're not, because you won't be picky about it. The formula for this is brands. So again, this is just the e.l.f. Lengthening and Defining Mascara, which means it does what... So normally mascaras are broken down into lengthening, defining, and thickening. If you can find a mascara that does all three, it's probably a lie. They probably are much better at doing one than they are at doing the other two, which is why a lot of people choose to layer them and mix them. So this says it lengthens and defines. They're kind of the same thing. It means that like the formula will make your eyelashes appear longer, which is just what happens when you darken them anyway with the mascara. And then the defining is probably them saying that the brush is going to do a great job at separating your eyelashes and making them stand out like individually rather than clump them together. Like we've all seen those old ladies with like spider eyelashes where they're just like really thick and it looks like their eyes are about to like walk away. This brush isn't the best in the world. It's kind of like the Great Lash brush, the original one, in that it just kind of looks like a normal like pipe cleaner kind of swabby thing. Like you'll see brushes that look like this in Sephora if you're ever practicing with mascaras. These are normally like the sample ones that they take you, so it's like a one-time use kind of thing. But this is the every-time use one with the e.l.f. mascara. It's not the best in the world, but again, if you're not picky, it's pretty good, and it's only $1. So if you don't want to travel with all your makeup, if you just don't want to buy a lot of makeup, if you're buying presents for like teenage girls who really don't know better to like get really high-end mascaras and they're not like, they don't have like expensive taste yet, get them this. This is, again, it's great. It's $1. I have no complaints about this. It's not flaky. The brush is okay, but I feel like, oh, you can pay like $10 and you'll still get like an okay brush. You're paying $1 for this. You like really can't go wrong. If you don't like it, you paid like $1 and maybe like 6 cents for tax depending on where you live. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good mascara. So to review my favorite mascaras at this moment, and they've stayed pretty consistent with the exception of this Great Lash, which kind of tricked me. My favorites right now in this moment are of course the Falsies Flared, bad, and then the One by One by Maybelline. So these two are incredible. Together they're amazing. Together they are my favorite thing in the entire world. So that is my review. And again, like I didn't mean to like completely like poo-poo the waterproof regular Falsies. I just had a horrible experience with it because I'd never used waterproof mascara before and it was just awful, 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 awful. And it was so embarrassing walking around with that like a third of my eyelashes. So if you like it, it's a personal opinion. I just don't like it because of my experience with it, and at that time I really didn't know how to remove waterproof mascara, and I still kind of don't, I'm sure, but I have found alternatives. That's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and thanks for watching.